Let's talk about what we're going to do. We're going to find and simplify something called the difference quotient. It's f of x plus h minus f of x over h. Okay. That may have just blown you away. You're like, whoa, what are we doing? All right. Find. I'll show you how to find it, and then I'll show you how to simplify it. There's kind of two steps here. Okay. So find it. What do they mean? What they mean is, we're going to write down the difference quotient. I'm going to put a nice big fraction bar, because these things get big and ugly. Okay? So try this. Write a nice big fraction bar. But we're going to use the particular function that they gave me. So I guess what they gave me, well, you guys asked me to do 35 the most, probably because it's a fraction, right? We don't like functions with a fraction bar in them. So what's the function? F of x equals 1 over what? 4x minus 3. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use that as my function for this example. All right. So I have a nice big fraction bar. What I tell people when they work with difference quotients is start with the denominator. That's just an h. I tell my calc class, I'll do the denominator, you do the numerator. All right. So that's it. But then the next thing I tell them is, hey, let's write the stuff on this side first. See how it says minus f of x? So I know what we're going to be subtracting up here. We're going to be subtracting what? 1 over 4x minus 3. Does that make sense to people? Okay. Now, the confusing part usually for students is, what is this? F of x plus h. Do you know what that means? It means put in what for the input? X plus h, right? And so let me show you how that looks. We do 1 over 4 times, and I'm going to put some parentheses. And what am I going to put in those parentheses? X plus h. Okay? Now, we found it. That's it. That's the difference quotient. The only thing left to do is to do what? I have to show you how to simplify. Now, what does that even mean, simplify? It's kind of annoying because you don't really know what it means. Well, I know Julia knows what it means. Right, Julia? Do you know what it means to simplify a difference quotient? I didn't mean to... What's that? Yeah. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I mean, that's not real nice, except that I notice where she sat. Do you notice where Julia always sits? Closest to the door, right? Do you know why? Because she's going to do what we do when we simplify a difference quotient. See that h there? We're going to try and eliminate that h. If you can get rid of that h in calculus, that's good. See that h? So Julia sits near the door because she wants to get the h out of here. You guys understand? So if we can get the h out of here, that's good. I got about 5 minutes, and then we will. All right, so here we go. So how do I do it? Well, I have to do a lot of algebra to the numerator in order to be able to cancel with the... By the way, could I just cross out this h and that h? Is that allowed? No way. Very illegal, right? Okay, so we can't do that. So let's work on simplifying the numerator. So if it were me, let's see, I'll have my nice big fraction bar with an h, right? Okay. And in the numerator, let's see, we have this fraction, if I simplify, would be 1 over, I guess I would call it 4x plus 4h minus 3. And then this other one is 1 over, I guess it's 4x minus 3. Okay. Can I subtract those two fractions? Why not? We need to get a common denominator, but I can do that. And the way I'll do it is I'm going to multiply this first fraction by 4x minus 3 over 4x minus 3. Because then, as I start to do the next step here, so let's see, let me write down what the next step starts to look like. I'm going to have, well, let's see, the denominator, I have an h. And then in the numerator, I'm going to have a common denominator of, well, 4x minus 3 times 4x plus 4h minus 3. That's my common denominator. So what's the numerator of the first fraction going to be now? 4x minus 3. Okay? Minus, now we have another big fraction over here, and again, I want a common denominator, so I want this to be 4x minus 3 times 4x plus 4h minus 3. So I'll be able to subtract them. Do you see what it's going to be? What's the numerator going to be? Sure, because we multiply by 4x plus 4h minus 3 on top and bottom. So we're just multiplying by 1. We're not changing anything. Okay. Going through. 2 minutes left until we get the h out. I can't wait. So let's see. 2 minutes until that h is going to disappear. Let's see if I can do it. And you have to be able to understand. All right? It's all about pace. So can I subtract those fractions? Sure. The denominator is now 4x minus 3 times 4x plus 4h minus 3. And the numerator, what does it become? Well, I guess it becomes, if I work it out, let me write it in green. 4x minus 3. Do you notice it's going to become minus 4x next? You guys see that? And then what? Careful. Why minus? I have to distribute that negative, right? So minus 4h, and then what? Careful. Oh yeah, plus 3. You're right. Plus 3. So, what happens now? What's that green numerator become? Almost everything goes away, right? What does this equal? Just negative 4h over 4x minus 3 times 4x plus 4h minus 3. Okay, and now the last step, since I only have 20 seconds left, instead of dividing by h, there's another way to do it. I can turn it into a multiplication problem. Multiplied by what? Almost. Dividing by h over 1 multiplied by 1 over h. You like that? So how's it finish? These h's cancel. We really do get the h out of here. And Julia's going to lead us as we take off. But before she goes, and all you guys, could you please pass in any homework you want me to grade? Section 4, Section 5, wherever you are.